how's it going? Welcome to Knitspired. This is episode 13, and I am Mikobeeko. Today is Thursday, October 12th, 2017, and I cannot believe we're already in October, halfway through already. The weather is crazy, up and down, hot and cold, and today and yesterday were rainy, but that is just how it is. I am an American knitter in Canada, living in Canada, because this is where my husband is from. I've been here almost exactly 4 years, and we have a 3-year-old daughter, and I knit, which you probably know because you're here. So to returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. That is so awesome. Hi. That's super exciting to me. My knitting community has grown exponentially in the last 2 or 3 weeks. To me, my Instagram following especially. I was on, it used to be private, and then I put it to public, and whenever I did like a hashtag or something, I would notice people would like my stuff, and then they'd start following me. So I thought that was really cool. And I just met some awesome new people, and I even got mentioned in a podcast, which is super exciting. Hi, Mean Girls. That was so exciting to me. I showed my husband, I'm like, look, I'm on TV. No. Anyway, wow, I got really excited about that. So to new viewers, thank you so much for checking me out. Yeah, I'm going to share some stuff with you. I was actually thinking today, that for the year of 2017, I think this is the first day this year that I have not knit at all. I will. I just haven't had a chance yet. It's been so busy. The last few weeks have been so busy. I was supposed to get a podcast out a week ago, and I just didn't. I was going strong every 2 weeks, and now it's been 3 weeks since my last episode, and I'm really sorry. Not that you are really caring, but I want to get out there every 2 weeks and just stay current with it, because I have a lot of stuff to show you. I've been knitting like crazy. So even though I didn't knit today, I have knit a lot in the last 3 weeks since my last podcast. It is 7 o'clock at night. The baby is in bed. She did not nap today, and she's a ball of energy, so she just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And then I was like, you need to go to bed, or you are going to just break down and start screaming and crying and all that stuff. So she is in bed. She fell asleep immediately. I'm watching her on the monitor. She is out in an Elsa dress with an Elsa doll. She is Frozen obsessed right now. So that's my little girl. She's 3. Oh, actually, she'll be 3.5 this month. So while she keeps me busy, I have been very busy knitting, and she is getting older, and she respects that. So that's fun. Okay, so I do have a lot to show you. And stuff that I've added to my stash, stuff that I've been knitting, some really great stuff. I've even done some dyeing. I've been just a fiber machine. Something fun that happened is on September 30th, there was a new yarn store that opened in Cambridge, Ontario. So I've been looking forward to that. And it is called Galt House of Yarn. So I was following them, and then they had the grand opening on September 30th, and my husband and I went because he joined me for that, and he's supportive like that. So I guess I can share stuff from them first. Should I? Actually, no, because I have a little way I'm going to show you something that has to. If you want to find me on Instagram, I am Kimiko_MC_Knitspired. Ravelry, I'm Mikobeeko. There is a Ravelry group for the Knitspired podcast. You can check that one out. And those are the best ways to find me. Instagram is the best because it's on my phone. You can direct message. I loved hearing from people. And also in the down bar for YouTube, you can also leave messages there. I get those too. I'm very well connected, and if I don't get to you right away, I try to as soon as possible. So I love hearing from people. Love it. And then there's my biggest fan, Mom. Hi. And yeah, so I guess I'll get on with some stuff. I'm not really sure what to start with. Okay, so last time I was working on the Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. And I made a lot of progress on that one. I'm looking at it right now. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I made a lot of progress on it. I really, really, really thought maybe I'd be able to finish it before the Stephen West Speckle and Pop mystery knit along started, but I didn't get to finish my Find Your Fade. But I did make a lot of progress on it, and it's looking really good. And of course, I haven't touched it for 3 weeks. I have not touched it since the Stephen King, since the Stephen West mystery knit along started 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago. So it's just in the middle of a row. I stopped mid-row, and then my Ravelry popped up with the mystery knit along. So anyway, so my Find Your Fade right now, and I'm really sorry it's in the middle of the row, I hate that. It looks like this. And it's lumpy and bumpy and stretchy and not blocked yet, but this is what it's looking like. I'm really happy with it, except for the fact that it needs to be blocked, of course. So, oh, it's such a mess down there. And then there's that. And now it is, I'm using a gray and yellow yarn, and it's actually the Saki's yarn from Lion Brand, the gray and yellow that I'm on right now. See, it went from a yellow and gray to gray and yellow, and then it's going to go into black, actually. It's going to look really awesome. But it's a sock yarn just from Lion Brand that I had sitting around because I didn't have a plan on what I wanted to do for the colors, for my fade, for all that stuff. So I just kind of like I kind of stash dived. So I'm really happy with it. It's so curled up at the bottom. Poor thing. My poor shawl. I'm so happy with it. It's going to look really cool. So that's that. That is my first thing that I'm going to show you today. And hopefully next time it will be finished, but I'm pretty sure it won't be. Because that stinking Speckle and Pop, that is just really throwing me. So I might as well get into the Speckle and Pop, speaking of that. So for that, I only used 3 yarns for the pops, and I ended up dyeing all of those. So I started, let me get them to you. This is like a Merlot color. I'm not sure how true it's gonna show, but that is the first one. I always go like 1, 2, 3, so that's one. And my second one is this really great tangerine. They're all very tonal. They're not solid. So there's that. And my third one is this hot electric pink. I love bright colors, so this is like the perfect knit along for me. I have seen so many beautiful Speckle and Pops on Instagram. Like, people have their own takes on it. It's just amazing, like, what people come up with. I can't believe it. Now, I'm going to try to remember this. Because I'm so bad about keeping track of my yarn. So bad about it. This is not that. Okay. The first one that I used, I bought this at the, so I bought this at the Galt House of Yarn at that grand opening of the new yarn store. And it is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock in Gelato. And that is the first color, the main color, A. There's that. Really cool. It's like white for the main color, and there's like purple, orange, like a turquoise, light purple, yellow, rust color, like pinkish, like everything. So pretty, super, super soft. So the Sweet Georgia is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, but it's really, really nice and soft. I love it. So I'm really happy with that. That's my first. And then my second is in use right now because I'm not done yet. This is, I got this at the Knitters Fair in, not Toronto, in Kitchener. And if my color just, if my light just messed up, it's because my computer screen went dark. Anyway, I got this next, the second color at the Knitters Fair in Kitchener, back in the beginning of September. And it is Araucania yarns in Huasco sock. It's that. And it's a hand-painted superwash wool blend. See, it's 75-25 superwash wool polymud. And the colorway is guacamole, which I love. I think that's great. And this is the color. It's very similar to the other one, but it's got more speckling and dark. Hang on one second. Oh, there's better light that way. I think. Yeah. It's just got more color to it, so it's very similar, and I like it. I like it a lot. What's that? And it's also so soft. So nice to knit with. I would definitely recommend that. And then the third one is I bought, let me see, I believe it's Loops and Threads brand. Yeah, I think so. Or Patons, I'm not sure which, at Michael's. I bought it a bear. Whew. Wow, there's already stuff flying around. I bought a bear natural color yarn and I dyed it myself, and this is the third color. It's not even skeined up yet. I don't even know what to call it, but it's got blue and purple, and there's some cool speckling or something happening there. Like, I love that right there. Oh, sorry if that got blurry. Oh, don't mind the orange ties. Those are from me tying it up. I haven't really had a chance to do anything with it yet. And I really hope it translates well. It looks messy, but once it's skeined up, it's going to look nice. So that's my third color. All right, so I haven't gotten to that one yet, obviously. Here's my Speckle and Pop. And, okay, so just a disclaimer, when I see everybody else's, they take these nice pictures, and it's got, oh, and if you haven't done the Speckle and Pop yet, you can look away until I stop talking about it. I'll tell you when I'm going to hold it up. But they, you know how everybody's displaying the pictures, and theirs looks so nice. Mine looks like a freaking hot mess. So I've got like fringe hanging off the side of it like nobody's business. So I'm wondering, should I weave it in right now? I've never had this much fringe on the side. It drives me nuts, and I'm okay with weaving in, but should I weave it in now, or should I weave it in at the end? It is just a hot mess, and it's lumpy and bumpy and crazy, but it's beautiful. I love it. So this is it. This is my Speckle and Pop. So it starts here, and it's just a mess. Look at it. Well, you can't see the back, but you can see enough that it's messy. There it is. So you can see how that's going. I hope it shows up okay, in the light. I'm loving it though. It's so cool looking. I did make some mistakes, of course, because that's what you do when you knit. And I did not rip back because I was like, yeah, no, not happening. So I learned some techniques on fixing stuff, like not any big mistakes, just drop stitches. One drop stitch, actually. So I took care of that and I moved on. And because I did that, I decided, I had mentioned that in my, okay, so that's my Speckle and Pop. We're done with that. That is my Speckle and Pop. So I'm also working on the Road to Rhinbeck Mystery Knit Along. I have not finished it. I still have the last clue that I haven't even looked at, and I'm on the third clue right now. But the last podcast I found, as I showed it to you, I found a huge mistake. Well, no, just a drop stitch way back. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to rip back and redo it because there's so many mistakes in it anyway. No, not happening. I'm glad I didn't rip back because I did decide to just fix it and move on. Nobody's going to know. I can always make the shawl again. I probably will. It looks like it's really pretty, but I have not made any progress on it, so I didn't even take it out to show you. Yeah, there's nothing really to show. So, yeah, so I am learning to fix my mistakes and just move on with it because nobody else is going to know, and that's a lot of work to rip back. So, yeah. So I'm happy with the Speckle and I keep saying that, the Speckle and Pop, and we'll see where it goes. I have not looked at the second clue yet. That first clue is, I still have like, I don't know, like 20 sections left, 20 wedges, he calls it, So I don't know how long it's even going to take before I get to the second clue, and the third one's due out tomorrow or Saturday or something. We will see. Eventually I will finish it. I'm not giving up on that one. I'm having a blast with it. Oh, and I got needles. I got some Knitter's Pride needles, my first pair of Knitter's Pride at the Galt House of Yarn when I bought the yarn, the first color there for the Speckle event. And I love them. I don't have the packaging, I think. Oh, I do. Of course I do. Why would I throw anything away? I got the Knitter's Pride Nova Platinum and I used 3.5 millimeter. I really like them. They were only $10.50. I don't think that was too bad for a pair of needles. Oh, I got 100 centimeters, 40 inches? Yeah, 40 inches. So I got those. I love them. They're so soft and smooth and fun and easy to knit with, and I can use them for... No, I can't. They're too big for socks. Yeah, so I did that. Another project that I finally finished, not a project, just another a pair of socks in the box of socks knit along for the year. And I realized in my last episode, or the last few episodes, I haven't shown all my socks, so I think I might show them to you today because I got sock blockers. I finally got sock blockers. And I bought them at Galt House of Yarn, and they're the Diamond brand, and they were hanging there. They were the only ones they had. I would really like to get the wooden kind, like a really nice fancy pair, and hang them up somewhere in my office, because that is where we are filming, in my office. Yeah. Anyway, so I saw them hanging there behind the counter at the store, and I was like, I knew that I was buying sock blockers. I had planned on it. I had some money set aside to buy some stuff, and I found them, and they were $17.50 for the sock blocker. I thought it was one. I opened the package, and there were, lo and behold, two $17.50 Canadian for two sock blockers. I felt like I had the jackpot, but that's just me. So these are just a regular stockinette sock knitting pattern that is kind of in my own head. I do a knit through the back loop for 3 and then purl one for the cuff. It just gives it like that 3D, so I just did it that way with these, and yeah. They do. I always thought they were like really the socks would be really tight on the sock blockers, but they're not. They look huge. I don't feel like my feet are that big, but they are. Look at that. I have like a 7.5, 8, size 8 foot. And these two socks are not the same length, but nobody knows. But so I have these, and then with the extra yarn, and this is Regia yarn that I got at a local store where they sell like some yarns and stuff. I made, look at that, it's not finished yet because my child doesn't stop moving or she's sleeping, so I haven't been able to try it on her because I think I'm going to decrease now. A little sock made for Nadia for her cute little feet. So I think she wants socks, so she thinks it's cool that they match mommy, so I'll make her a few pairs from some of my leftover sock yarns, and then there'll be the little toddler, preschooler box of socks, I guess. So I don't even think she saw me knitting these, and these are a 2x2 rib, but that's cute. So I have my sock blockers, and because I have them, I can do stuff like this. And this. And this. And this. There's that one. I love that one. And then there's that one. Well, and there are others that aren't even by me. I don't know where they are. I think I might have worn a couple of pairs. So those are some of my socks for this year. I will do a better display of them later on, near the end of the year, maybe in December sometime. We'll see how many I get to knit. So at Galt House of Yarn, oh yeah, so I did show in the last video I was working on the sock head hat for my dad, and I really haven't made too much progress because that Speckle and Pop knit along, you know, I might have talked about that a little bit. So that's it's not really on the back burner. I'll pick it up when I can, but I just haven't really had much of a chance to. So at the Galt House of Yarn, I did buy this yarn. It is, and it's for my husband. He wants mittens. It's Illimani Eco Llama, 100 grams, 402 yards, 100% baby llama. I'm not really sure how that's going to go with mittens, but he wanted it, and I'm like, well, it's okay. That's fine. And the color is marled gray. So I got 2 of these. Let's see. Are you going to be able to see it? It's a marled gray. It's like a black and gray. And there's like brown in it and stuff. So the name says it all. So he wants those mittens. He kind of goes for these colors. He tended to like the marled stuff in the store. I love when he picks out yarn. Don't you love when the guys pick out the yarn? It's so cute. He knows what he wants. Guys are like, that's it. That's the one I want. And then a few weeks ago, I went to the not the Patons. It is the Spin Right tent sale, and it was in Listowel, Ontario. They have one twice a year. So I went to that. That's like 45 minutes from where I live. And I, among other things, I had gotten this Sugar Bush Rapture yarn. It's 50% Llama Soft, 50% Superfine Merino wool, and one is in the Ravishing Rose colorway, and one is in the Passion Plum. That's what I thought, the Passion Plum colorway. So there are 211 yards in each of them. They're both like a purpley, on the purple scale, like darker and like a lighter purplish, pinkish. I'm thinking about doing a brioche cowl. I was thinking about a hat, but I couldn't really find a pattern that I liked. So I was thinking of a brioche cowl or something along those lines for me. This is pretty soft, so I'll be okay wearing that. So if you have any ideas of what I could make with that, let me know. I think this would look really cool in brioche. It would be a nice 2-color contrast for that. Let me know if you think of something. And do I have anything else? Let me just check my bag from the yarn store. I think that was it. I spent a fortune there and I only got like 4 things, but that's just how it goes. Oh, so yes, excuse me for 1 second because I have to look at my computer. So the Andrea Mowry just came out with a new cardigan pattern, and it is the Comfort Fade Cardi. Sorry, I'm reading off my computer. And until tomorrow, the 13th, she has there's a, I don't know what it is, the coupon code. I just used it too. I just bought it. I just purchased it before I started this. She has a coupon code. You can find it on Ravelry. If you use that, you get 15% off. So basically it made mine be as much as if I was paying in US dollars. Yay, almighty dollar. Not a big deal. It's a beautiful pattern. I can't wait to make it because I've been looking for a cardigan and I'm like, oh, I love her stuff. So I just purchased that, and I will be making that down the road once I finish these knit-alongs and stuff. All my 3 shawls that I'm working on. There's a lot going on as far as knitting, and there are so many things I want to start because I also have like scrappy blankets on the side burners there, and I'm not going to touch those. I have a couple pair of socks, one pair of socks that I'm making for my sister-in-law, but it's still in the ball of yarn. It was some yarn she had picked out for me, and I said, oh, I'll make you those. And I'm like, what am I thinking? I have so much stuff to do. Yeah, so there's just so much I want to knit, and I just haven't had, I've just been so busy knitting. I guess that's a good thing, but this weekend is the Woodstock Fiber Festival. I forget the exact name of it. And up until yesterday, I was planning on going. But then I decided there's just so much going on. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are moving back here, and they're going to be living about an hour from us, so they need some help. They just bought a house, and we haven't seen the house yet, and we haven't seen them. They've been gone for 2 years. I mean, we've seen them in the meantime, but I'm super excited to see them and welcome them back. So and that's happening Saturday, and I was like, but I've been planning the Woodstock Fiber Festival for so long, and I'm not gonna be able to go. And that's okay, because there's a lot of other stuff happening here. There's I've just been busy with other stuff, like yarn related fairs recently, so it's time to slow down a little bit. In April there'll be the Toronto Knitters Frolic, so I'm not missing out. There's plenty of stuff to do. I need to take some time and just knit the things that I bought all the yarn for. I'm just looking. I have an IKEA like wall shelf just full of yarn right next to me. So I'm going to be skipping that fiber festival this weekend. And that's fine because we have some fun stuff happening with family. I went into the bank the other day. The lady, the teller, was like, "Oh, I'll help you." And she was kind of like, "Oh, whatever." And she's like, "I need your license." So I gave her my license, and she's looking at it, and she's like, "I met another Kamiko today," or something. She said something like that. And she's like, "Well, no, I didn't meet another Kamiko. I saw another Kamiko." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Yeah, on Instagram." "Wait, are you on Instagram?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "For knitting?" And she goes, "Yes." She had been, well, she said, creeping my Instagram. And she came across something that on my Instagram and liked it. And then she saw my name when I came into the bank that day. And of course, I just lit up, and so did she. She told me later that she had been having a kind of a crappy day, so it kind of made her day, and that made me feel so happy. So yeah, we were just talking about knitting, and she had gone to the Knitters Fair, and I think there was a picture of her with Eric Lutz from Sticks Plus Twine. Am I getting that right? I didn't even like refresh my memory of that, but I was like, that's so cool. I didn't even know he was there. That's awesome. So she knows like other podcasters in this area. I don't know if she had checked out my podcast, but I was like, oh, I do have like a humble little podcast. You don't have to watch it, but I have one. So I really, really enjoy knitting. So we were just talking about different things. And then of course we followed each other on Instagram, and we've been texting back and forth. And she did say that she and I could go to the Fiber Festival this weekend, but I told her I'd have to get back to her because I wasn't sure what was going on yet. But I'm like, yay, I have a knitting friend in the area who's like a fiber junkie. I'm getting there. like I told you, I'm a fiber junkie at heart. I'm a yarn snob at heart. But yeah, anyway, it was so much fun to just randomly meet somebody who works at the bank down the street, and I just needed a new card. She was having a bad day, and then she saw my name, and like, you kind of remember the name Kamiko. So yeah, that was really fun. So Carolyn, if you're watching, hi, my new knitting friend. So I invited her to the knitting group that I go to once a month, and she'll probably join me. She goes to the Knitters Guild, I think she told me, something like that, I forget. But she wants to meet new knitters, and like, who doesn't want to meet new knitters? That's fun. So that is what's new happening. I have a lot of happy stuff happening in my life, actually, but nothing I really want to share right now. Just good stuff. Life is good. I'm happy to share that life is really good for me right now, for us. Yeah, so I don't know how long this episode is. Hopefully it's pretty short, and hopefully I didn't bore you. My camera did cut out a couple times, I think, so I was a little nervous I wouldn't have room to do my whole video. Yeah, I feel like I'm like rambling and hyper and everything, and I am. I need to edit the video, and I probably won't do that tonight because I really want to knit. Really, really want to get down to knitting tonight. And I've been watching this show called Offspring on Netflix. It's an Australian show, which is so cute because I love their accents. Did I talk about this before? I don't remember. If you haven't watched it, just check it out. It's so funny. It's like a funny, tongue-in-cheek Grey's Anatomy, kind of, and less drama. But sometimes a lot of drama, but not too much. It has a good balance. And it's funny, really funny. And it's dysfunctional. And the two sisters kind of remind me of me and my sister, but neither of us in particular. It's just like little quirky things about the both of us that are intermingled with the two sisters. So I love the show. I'll be drinking some wine and probably eating some soup because I made some, and knitting some Speckle and Pup. And I think that's it. So it was nice to spend a few minutes, and hopefully you had fun, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.